We welcome Bishop Timothy today as we're talking about what to do in various circumstances with devotional objects that might be damaged, what happens if we drop a host at Holy Communion, and what we might do if we do have something like a Bible that we don't need ourselves anymore but could find another home. So Bishop Timothy, it's wonderful to have you with us as we're discussing these topics. I wonder if you could share a little bit of insight into what might happen at Mass, for example, if during the distribution of communion, one of the hosts ends up inadvertently on the floor. What kind of steps might be taken?
Great. So in Holy Communion, in that moment, there are different ways in which it can be remedied, that difficult situation, because it can also be a distressing situation if a congregant drops a host, or if the priest or deacon drops the host, or an extraordinary minister of Holy Communion. They probably find it terrible to drop a host. If I do it, I tend to pick it up and consume it. But I think sometimes where a host has become very damaged or something and it's not really appropriate to consume it, then we're invited to consider burying it in the ground. We would do the same if you have spilt the precious blood, because even if you sort of wipe that in a cloth, you wouldn't then want to just put it in the wash or something. So sometimes whatever you've used to mop it up could be burnt or buried. Similarly, when we're getting round to Holy Week and the time of the Chrism Mass, when holy oils are blessed for the new year, what do you do with the oils that are left from the year before? Because they're blessed, they're consecrated. So they are usually mopped up in cotton wool and burnt. So those are the kind of things, and we tend to do those in quite a regulated fashion because we know it happens every year. But then I suppose we get to the question of what happens if you've broken your rosary beads or the head's fallen off your statue of St. Joseph. What would you do then?
Well, I suppose in an absolute ideal circumstance, it would probably still be possible to repair it. And so if you've got a statue that maybe it's got chipped or there's some damage to it, it might be possible to send that off to a company that can repair it and mend it so that it can continue to be used for devotional use, which is fantastic. With rosary beads as well, it depends on the kind of style of it. Sometimes there really is nothing you can do, but in other circumstances, it might be possible to sort of unpick it and put new beads on, and that can be a really good way of preserving it and keeping it going. But if it does reach the point where it doesn't look like there's anything more that could be done to bring it back to use, the best thing would probably be to bury it in most cases. With certain devotional objects, a little bit like you described with the oils, it might be possible to burn it if that can be done in a way that's respectful, but burying's in most cases probably the best bet. Though, of course, one example of a specific devotional object which has a kind of tradition behind its use in the future is actually the crosses that we use on Palm Sunday, or the palms, whether they're folded into crosses or as they naturally come, which traditionally would be burned and then used as the ashes on Ash Wednesday. And so in many churches, it's possible to bring your palm crosses back to the church, either the following year or shortly after the Palm Sunday celebrations, and then they can be reused, which is a fantastic way of actually keeping them in use for a devotional purpose, which is wonderful.
I think as well, sometimes things come to the end of their natural life. So somebody dies and their Bibles are left behind. What do you think we should do with those? Because with the best will in the world, maybe the next generation down doesn't want them. Although you'd hope that, especially for sentimental value, they might want to keep them. But if someone said to you, Granny's died, Bibles aren't needed, what do we do with them? Do we just throw them away?
Well, I think in almost every case like that, there's definitely someone looking for a Bible, someone looking for a rosary that otherwise wouldn't be used. And so I think the best thing to do would be to bring that to your nearest Catholic parish, where someone would be delighted to receive them. Or perhaps in the context of a school as well, it might be that a school is on the lookout at this very moment for more Bibles for their classroom so that they can teach in RE. Certainly I wouldn't encourage people to be shy about this. Just let the parish priest know, and you can find a home for them.
Yes. I think we're also encouraged not to sell holy things. So quite often in antique shops you find things that probably shouldn't be there.
No, indeed.
But that's a responsibility on everybody to care for sacred things and to show them the respect that they deserve for the blessed use that they've had.